We pick up the action with Tassie taking a 16-yard hit, and the Devil is all in the detail over the next few minutes. Firstly, Tim Devan is on the ball for Tassie, and with all due respect to him, he's a very limited aerial threat. Ideally, in this situation, you want someone on the ball who can outlet both along the ground or in the air if needed. As Devan takes the free hit, both Josh and Hayden Belts have their back to the play. Now, this isn't unforgivable. It just means that once Jeremy Edwards gets the ball, two of his closest and most likely options aren't ready to receive it, which in turn brings the chill press into the game. Edwards decides to go back to Devan, and all of a sudden, it's game on for the chill. If we pause it there, take a look at Edwards. It looks like he wants the ball to go to the right. I reckon that's where it should go as well. A wide open right half on his strong side out here can at worst shovel the ball down this sideline and out of trouble, but the ball comes back to Edwards, who clearly isn't ready for it, and suddenly Canberra is back in possession and in attack. The situation isn't unsalvageable for Tassie until you realise that the rush 16 and turnover means they now have no spare defender. Devan is trying to become free by calling James Burke onto his man, but you can see there's some confusion between the pair and Eddie Ockenden surrounding Ben Staines at the top of the circle. Now Burke eventually takes Staines, which means Devan has to mark, and Ockenden now becomes the spare. As the free hit is taken, you can see straight away how vulnerable Tassie are in the heart of the circle, and it's only a good decision by Devan to leave his man in contest on the baseline that allows them to live to fight another day. Let's whip through this 10 or so seconds, but let's also acknowledge that's a hell of a long time to get your defensive 25 set up right. Here we see Davis Atkin, the eventual goal scorer on the ball, and the Tassie structure isn't too bad. They're marked up in the circle, they've got two on the ball to stop lateral dribbling, and Devan is spare on the edge. But movement creates uncertainty. Let's see what happens next. This is Hayden Belts directing traffic, and it looks like he's telling Jack Welch where he needs to go. As the play unfolds, Hayden Dillon rolls into a really precarious position, totally pulls this defensive structure apart. What Dillon does is brilliant. He draws Ockenden and Welch towards him and splits the pair with a crisp one-touch pass. If he holds onto it any longer, Welch probably gets a stick on it and the play is dead. Have a look at the movement of Ben Staines as well though, because it's great. He runs a very slight screen right here on Hayden Belts, which in the end proves to be the difference between Atkins' shot being blocked or not. The final issue with this setup is the lack of help side support from these two guys, Gobbin Gill and Josh Belts. Their lack of movement opens up this enormous channel for Atkin, and the finish is nothing short of superb.
Back to Atkin, it opens up. He steps inside, have the shot! Oh my goodness!
Atkin knocked in the conversion, and we pick up the action again from here. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go, and a goal the difference. As we whip through this 20 seconds, what teams are trying to do in this situation is get their best ball handlers in possession in as good a territory as possible, and there's not many better men in world hockey to have it than Eddie Ockenden. As Ockenden does the right thing and tracks to the corner, just keep an eye on the rest of the Tigers players and also one eye on the clock as well. Josh Belts is in a really good spot to offer support and immediate pressure if the ball is turned over. Gill is doing nothing but crowd the space that Ockenden can run into. He's also bringing another defender into the contest, which isn't helpful. Welch needs to have more awareness of the situation and sag back to the dotted circle at least, keeping in mind Tassie don't need to score again. They've just got to protect that lead. His teammate Joe Murphy actually does the perfect movement, and this is exactly what Welch should do as well. Hayden Belts and James Burke are just ball watching. Between the pair, someone needs to be in front of Gary Bacchus in case the ball is stolen and whipped out straight away. Now, if Bacchus doesn't hold on to this ball, it's game over. So the strength of his role and ability to win a free hit is excellent. The Tigers' chase is great, but here's where it falls apart. The chill set up on the free hit, and Gill and Ockenden immediately pressure the ball, and I think that's the wrong call. By the time Day gets on the free hit, nearly all of the Tigers players are well back in their own half, and any aerial pass would need to be absolutely perfect to hurt them. There's clearly confusion as to what Tassie should be trying to do here, and this head movement from Joe Murphy tells me he's being called to fall out while his teammates press up. Unfortunately, that confusion allows Bacchus to get free in the middle of the field, and now Tassie is stretched over 75 metres and the holes are beginning to appear. Bacchus finds Atkin, and Murphy just approaches him on the wrong line, allowing him to open up and move forward. Atkin does really well to turn, and as we pause it there, we're about to see a great tip for young players in this next little passage. It looks like Josh Belts is going to mow Atkin down for all money, but what Atkin does to elude him is really great. He straightens the line of the ball up with 2 controlled pushes into space. 1, 2. Each little push means he can get his head up and run quicker with the ball still under his control. If he kept his stick on the ball, I guarantee Belts challenges him before he reaches Tim Devan, and who knows what happens from there. It's great strength on the ball. Devan's lunging tackle makes it really hard for the umpire not to give a penalty corner, and we all know what happened next.
To level it up, Day fires and scores!
The Canberra Chill went on to win the game in a shootout, and the Tassie Tigers were left to rue the one that got away. Looking forward to running my eye over the tape next week on The Debrief.